What's happening, y'all? Back with another Magnus Answers. Sitting here on the throne of thought, the guy that wields the dark Mjolnir is ready to deliberate and answer your question as the Magnusite movement marches forward to 1 million subscribers. And yes, today, I shall don the hood of knowledge. Says, and this one was very interesting to me. He entitled it, "Ghetto Black People Are the Scum of the Black Community." Says, "Hello Tyrone, I'm 22 years old and I'm an African-American male. No, I'm an African male who was born in the Ivory Coast of Africa. I just wanted to let you know I love your videos. Both you and Sarah are cool and funny as hell. And I hope you get to 2 million subscribers. Keep up the good work. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about was ghetto black people giving the rest of us a bad name. Ever since I was in a middle school, I have experienced and dealt with ghetto mentality, which is basically the cancer of the black community. Agreed. These idiots are loud, uneducated, obnoxious, rude, arrogant, dirty, retarded, and ignorant. They have made fun of me and called me corny. I act too white. I talk weird. I wear white clothes, etc. I've never lived in a ghetto before, as I usually live in diverse neighborhoods. It's just for some strange reasons, these neighborhoods somehow attract these ghetto people like flies to a carcass. There are even a time in high school I tried to fit in by dressing like a thug. But now, since I'm older, I realize that shit ain't cool. And I started to dress a lot nicer and act how any human being should act. And ever since then, a lot more people of any race have been giving me a lot more respect. I've since developed a hatred for these kinds of people and no longer hang out with them and associate with them. You might find that weird, but I really don't like how they act, and I try my best to ignore them. I know every race has their vermin, like white trash and etc. But I just don't like how the black community embraces ignorance and gang life as being a good thing. There's a difference between a civilized person and an uncivilized person. So it makes no sense that they would try to talk shit about how I talk, because I know that's how anyone, regardless of race, should act. I know not all ghetto people are scum. I give credit to the ones that realize the hood life is wrong and leave and get a better life and make something of themselves, like you did, Tyrone. I just wish more ratchet people would follow this example. What are your thoughts and opinions on this? Well, I must say that I totally 100% agree with you, brother. A lot of people grow up and learn to embrace that mentality without realizing that the point is to get out of the ghetto. It's not a good place to be. It's not a good place to live. But what I think happens is people struggle so hard in certain situations or deal with such adversity that they learn to embrace this handicap that they were born into, or adversity that they were born into. So now all of a sudden, it's good to be a badass and tough and be the best fighter on your block and be the best drug dealer, the biggest drug dealer, the one making the most money, the one who's got the block on lock, to let people be killed and not snitch and all that dumb shit doesn't make any sense to me either. And I don't think it's weird that you have stopped hanging with them. Of course, you want to get away from that negativity. If you notice, now see, I grew up with a lot of ghetto people. Me being ghetto myself. And what's funny is you almost never get rid of it. You never forget where you came from, but you still should grow from it. You don't want to stay that person if that person had any negative attributes. You want to get rid of the negative attributes. If growing up in a harder life made you a stronger person and better person, that's good. But just leave the things that aren't good. You know, sometimes someone gets cancer, and because it puts their life in a different perspective, they fight and they beat cancer, aka the ghetto. They look at life and carry themselves as a different human being when they get out, okay? But they still never forget what happened to them and how they got cancer, how they got in the ghetto. So you always want to make sure that you are building yourself as a stronger person, okay? I mean, the ghettos are a cancer. That's the reason why I compared it to it. They are a cancer. People are dying every day there. They're just degenerating into the worst forms of life. And yes, there are the worst forms of life in the most elite, wealthy, powerful people on the planet. But right now, we're talking about ghetto, and specifically black people. I remember growing up and being one of the only people. See, we had an A group and a B group in elementary school coming up. A group was the advanced class. B group was the B-rated class. They all needed help with learning. And I was one of the only black people in the A group. And, you know, now that I think back on it, like, your letter actually makes me think about it. I'm like, damn. You know, but my mom always pressed, like, she used to, I mean, my mom basically, short of threatening my life, you know, she threatened me if I didn't get on the honor roll. You know, or at least get to a C. You get the average or above, but you cannot get a D or an F. You used to say D's for dummies. So she never let me get a D. Now, it does sicken me that we embrace ignorance. Like, it's absolutely cool to not speak right, to not speak proper. I remember when I was a little younger. I can't remember what grade I was in, but I remember my cousins are a couple of years older than me, and they ended up growing up most of their lives in Camden. I remember they came to visit us one time, and they were like, why y'all talk like white guys? And we were like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? But my mom taught us proper English, you know, and because we weren't allowed to hang with the thugs, you know, we just, you know, went to school, we learned proper English, and that was it. Now, what's funny is you will hear me use improper English from time to time. Sometimes, I feel, just like when I say nigga from time to time, that when you use improper English, it makes it sound funnier. But it's only for comic relief. I know how to speak properly, you know what I mean? It's not something that I embrace. You know, when I first met Sarah, I used to make jokes all the time with her, because her mom was a stickler for English, and she was always, you know, very straight-laced with Sarah. So when Sarah would say something, sometimes I would correct her and say it the wrong way, and she'd be like, that's not how it's something. Like, it is, babe. That's, but just to get a rise out of her and mess with her, because I knew that she was a stickler for language. So another thing, I want to let you know, I think a lot of y'all want to know what exactly, well, I want to talk to you about what has helped shape some of my views and what has helped give me more knowledge on my views. And one of them is the channels that I've discovered on my own on YouTube, and more specifically the black channels. And I wrote them down because at first I couldn't remember them all. And I'll tell you what I watch. And I get something for every single one of these brothers. I watched Tariq Nasheed. I watched Tommy Sotomayor. Used to watch Equazi 100. I thought it was really weird how he started to take on David Carroll's personality. Which is something weird about that. I thought to myself, well, if I want to watch David Carroll, I'll watch David Carroll. I mean, you know, I'm not jumping on him. I mean, that's his thing. That's his thing. I know when it happened, people was like, yo, he's swagger jacketing. What the fuck is wrong with him? Was he a retarded child? Like, people was going in on him. But I was like, it was when I used to watch him before. And I was just like, I don't know. It was like a cheap imitation of David Carroll. So I watch David Carroll now. I mean, I've been watching David Carroll forever because he at first he was so abrasive. He made me laugh when he would say stuff, but he was always dropping jewels of knowledge. David Carroll actually is one of my favorites. The Advice Show, I like watching him from time to time. The nigga with the tattoos, I think he's another one that gets misunderstood. It's kind of funny too because he's quote unquote stereotypically from what you see, what people might see. They think he's a nigga, and he's got the long hair, the hat backwards, and all the tattoos and everything. But the amazing thing is, if you give him a chance, you sit down and you listen to him, like this. He's a very intelligent brother, and he knows exactly what he's talking about. There's not too many things that there's not too many of his videos that I've ever watched that I did not agree with. The People's TV, another intelligent dude, a little rough around the edges. I know he's seen a lot in life. I listen to a lot of his videos. I know he's been through a lot, but I just want y'all to know too that I respect all these people that I'm talking about right now. I don't have any issues with none of them, and I am not starting any YouTube beef because I'm vegan. That's a bad joke, I know. The Black Authority. I like listening to Black Authority because I like the way he speaks. I do. I like the way he speaks and enunciates his words, and he's always dropping knowledge too. And you tune into the Iceman. This is the Iceman. Y'all know who he is, right? I forgot what his channel is called. It might be the Iceman, but I like listening to him too. And a lot of these guys have either helped open my eyes or helped change my perspective or gave me a different view into our community. And I believe that they all have something to attribute, just like I would or anybody else that's coming honest, and but I noticed that the reason why I mentioned all these channels is because a common theme with all of them is like, why the fuck are we embracing ignorance? Why is it okay to get bad grades? Why is it okay to be running the streets and selling drugs and not snitching and allowing our people to die the way they do in the streets? Why is it okay to not support black businesses? Man, when I found out we had a Black Wall Street, and I found out that, the black family was very close-knit after slavery, I found out that slavery is not a fucking excuse anymore for what we do. I found out that foreigners, when they come over here, they're told not to talk or hang with us. That's bad. Now that's another subject because the rabbit hole goes deeper into the reason why they're told not to speak to us. But I have a Nigerian friend. She's female, and I remember me and her would talk all the time. And sometimes when I would call the house, the mom wouldn't even let me speak to her. And she eventually told me one day that she changed. Basically what was happening was she was branching out as a young woman, and she wanted a little bit more freedom, but her mother didn't see it that way. Her mother saw it as, you're acting just like those African Americans and this and that, and I don't want you talking to him and this and that. And she used to tell me, this girl went through such a hard time. I met her when we were freshmen in college, and I felt so bad for her. But I remember one of my cousins said to me, I only hate two kinds of people. And I forgot what the first one was, and then he said Africans. I was like, really? He said, I fucking hate them. I hate them. I said, why? He said, because they look down on us. They talk about us like we're shit and we're garbage. And I understand both sides. Okay, I don't hate anyone. My whole thing is I judge people as they come. So if you're an African, native African, and you look down on me without getting to know me as an African American, I believe you have a problem. if you look at African Americans as a whole and you say they got issues, I can agree with you with that. But take us as we come, just like I'll take you as you come. You know, just like there's racists out there who all, you know, nothing, you know, only good niggers are black is a dead nigger. You know what I mean? There are racist people out there that no matter what, they may have their views against different races, and it's all of them, no matter what. There are no exceptions. That's just like me thinking that all white people are racist, and you know, all white people want to bring the black man down and kill us and get rid of us. And I'm not arguing against any of those agendas, that they exist or not, but I am saying that I know not all white. It's funny because I watched Tariq Nasheed, and he's got that coon trains coming. I was about to say all white people ain't bad. But I know what he's trying to communicate with that whole coon trains coming skit. You know, there's that house Negro mentality that can be expanded upon. And that's one thing that I'm not, you know. But I was just about to say, you know, all white people ain't bad. But I'm not saying it in the context that the coon train commercial is talking about it. You know, I take people as they come. I am not blind to agendas against us and any other races, whether that be agendas that black people may have against whites, whites against blacks, whites against Hispanics, and so forth and so on, okay? But I know this turned into a long discussion and rant, but, you know, I just really wanted to get, you know, a lot of my feelings out about, you know, what I think. And I think as a community, we are fucking struggling over here. Struggling. It's ridiculous. And when anyone even when people ourselves, when we tell each other that we're wrong, we get attacked. You can't say nothing. You know, like no other race can say nothing against us, and then they're considered racist. And if we say something, then we Uncle Tom. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with you? Start reading. Crack a motherfucking book. I used to hate reading as a kid. I don't know if it was because, you know, it was cool to not be a reader or what. I don't know, but I've learned to really love reading when I find something that I'm really interested in. I only read things I'm really interested in. But one thing that black people need to know about is their history, their true history. And because I think it'll give a better perspective, you know, so we can see like, damn, like all this ratchet shit we're doing, like I just look at the TV shows that we got, you know, like that are glorifying all this dumbass shit, you know, and I don't need to name them because you already know what they are. If they embarrass you, you know your head is on straight. If they don't embarrass you and you embrace them, something's a little bit wrong. You're ignorant. And I said it like that for a reason. You're ignorant on some things. You know, it's, you know, loving basketball and, not loving basketball, basketball wives, and, you know, loving hip hop and all these stupid ass shows like I don't watch. You know, I think some of us actually watch them because they show us how good our lives are compared to theirs. And we ain't dealing with that shit. What was that show they were about to come out with the dude had like 10, 20 kids or something, and he's a rapper and he had a bunch of different baby mamas. I was like, you got to be shitting me. You know, like I don't embrace nothing like that. You know, and I think it's for the same reason that a lot of white people have problems with stuff like Honey Boo Boo. You know, they look at that like trailer park trash, and they don't want to be dealing with it. They don't want other races to look at them and think that they're all like that. It's the same thing with us, but we'll be watching these shows like it's fucking, oh shit, you know, Love and Hip Hop about to come on, man. Basketball Wives of Atlanta and all this other shit. I don't watch none of them. I've never even seen them. I've only seen commercials. And the commercials, but as a matter of fact, no, I was watching Basketball Wives at one point, and I remember watching it for the fights. What was the one that got headbutted by Ocho Cinco? She was cracking me. I was like, this bitch is always talking shit. And I said bitch for a reason. And I'm not disrespecting black women by saying that. I'm not saying it like a rapper saying it. I'm like, she was crazy. She had it coming. She was already ready to fight and all that loud hollering shit. Black men hate that. I'm not saying he was right for headbutting her, but that's another thing. You know, this ratchetness that our women have. I mean, hey, look, the men already got their problems, being a fucking effeminate, extra sensitive, okay, leaving their children, not wanting to work, no snitching, gangbanging, all this shit. We got our problems, but the ratchetness of our women. If you make a twerking video, you can't be my woman. Never. Never. And if I know you make a twerking video and I find out, trust me, I'm gonna get what I came for and I'm gonna leave. In other words, we're gonna be friends for a little bit and then we ain't gonna be friends no more. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't like that. You know what I mean? Don't degrade yourself like that. I think it's when your claim to fame is shaking your ass, I think you should rethink that. Because like all truthfulness, I mean, it's degrading you and the men that praise you for it. I'm not saying the men that might think like you. Hey, look, men are men, okay? Sexual attractiveness is what it is. Even if a woman sees a man shaking his dick, dancing half naked, while she may say, all right, he's some type of gigolo and he's stanky, it might still turn her on. The difference is if she praises him for it. I think that's the difference, okay? I have a ex-girlfriend who has dated, she's dated like 3 strippers in a row. The fuck is wrong with you? And guess what? None of them work out. None of them. When I see how other women are praised, they'll be praised for, just their beauty. They'll be praised for, the sophistication of how they dress, how they carry themselves, or how they speak. And I remember when they were talking about even Michelle Obama. Let me see how much time I got. Shit, I went over. Don't matter. Talking about Michelle Obama. And she's the first lady in history where they talking about she got a nice ass. She got a big ass. Really? That shows you, that right there just shows you where our culture is over here. That right there shows you where our culture is. I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. As soon as we got the first black president, which he's not, because he's literally half white. Everybody talking how he walked like a pimp. And I mean, what the fuck? I mean, I don't get it. He hangs with Jay-Z and Beyonce. I don't remember any of the other presidents, like hanging with Guns N' Roses. They're best friends. I don't remember that. It seemed like they were always pretty much separate. Stars got to meet them, but I didn't see them hanging with them, which I think is kind of, there's something off about this. And, it requires a different video, but something is really fucking wrong with our culture over here. There really is something wrong with our culture. And I think that when I get a chance, either I'm going to take a class or I'm going to really sit down. Like, I've been doing it inch by inch from time to time, educating myself on our true history. But I really want to educate myself literally. I mean, because if you watch Hidden Colors 1 and Hidden Colors 2, it'll blow your mind. Especially if you the run-of-the-mill ignorant nigga. Okay, me, I knew some, but I was like, wow, I did not realize the rich history that we have, how powerful of a people, how intelligent of a people, how innovative of a people. I mean, that we are, and we're never recognized for it. We should live up to our true potential as black people. We really should. We have so much to give. So much to give. We are an incredible people. And I think that, you know, us specifically, African Americans, do not live up to our potential. We are more than just dancers and athletes. We are. We are more than just dancers, athletes, and buffoons. You know, it's, you know, we are more than just entertainers. And that's the reason why my channel is devoted to education a lot. I know that I'm funny. I don't think there's a problem with being funny. Buffoonery has its place. There's nothing wrong with being silly from time to time. But when your race is known for that, that's the problem. You know, you could go watch Abbott and Costello, but white people are not known for buffoonery. You can watch the Three Stooges, but white people are not known for buffoonery. You see what I'm saying? You know, you could go watch, what's his name? Russell. What's his name? Russell something. He's an Indian man. You know, he's a comedian. But Indians are not known for buffoonery. You see what I'm saying? Like when I look at who's in the limelight for us, who people praise, who's in the media, you know, we're more than that. And that's the reason why I add elements of funny. That's the reason why I do videos like this, or where I speak my mind and I show you that I am a serious individual. That's the reason why I do all the problem-solving videos. That's the reason why I do health and fitness videos. I don't just do fitness videos. I'm not just an athlete. I'm a person that believes in good health. Not just muscles, not just, hey, he's a strong buck. No. That's the reason why I give you perspectives on my philosophy of life and bettering yourself and becoming the greatest version of yourself possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the reason why I always said I want to become my own Batman. While he's fictional, he has become the best version of himself, and that's what I always wanted to do. And that's what we need to do. We need to become the best version of ourselves, not waiting for the next welfare check to come in, you know what I'm saying, while smoking weed on the fucking couch. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what we want to be. So I think that's all I got to say on this for now. Like I said, this went deep into a lot of things, and there's a lot of things I'm sure I did not cover, because this subject is massive. This subject is massive. And man, I'm done. I get tired when I make videos like this. It exhausts me mentally when I make videos like this. So I'm sorry for the video cutting out halfway in between. And thanks for the email, man. Gave me a chance to think and bring out a little bit more about myself and our people to you and everyone else. 1 million subscribers. Woo!